2020. Where to even begin with you? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Javi, and today I thought I would ponder a bit and talk about the whirlwind that has been 2020, kind of do a year in review of what's been going on with me, my channel, and also do my top 5 BL series of the year. I will have some honorable mentions, so stay tuned for that. But first I want to just talk about the year. If you guys want to go straight to the rankings and my favorite series of the year, I will leave a timestamp down below so that you guys can check that out. But I do want to talk about just everything that's been going on, because this year has been extremely rough for so many people, and I've been lucky enough to have started doing reactions and lucky enough to meet some incredible people online, which I will mention. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people started off the year very optimistic. You know, kind of the starting of a new decade. And around February or March, you know, things just started going downhill with the coronavirus and everything that put things in perspective. You know, people started doubting, people started being uncertain of things, when things would get back to normal, how, to what extent the coronavirus was going to affect the entire world. And honestly, when everything happened and everything shut down, personally, I was very depressed. I really just didn't feel good about the state of the world and how things were going. Obviously, not only that, but a lot of things were happening around that time as well here in the US. You know, a few months after the coronavirus started ravaging the world, you know, we had a lot of racial injustice happen here in the US, as it always does. And, you know, a lot of Black Lives Matter protests, and just the whole state of the world just put things in perspective. And it was a really, really sad time. And I feel like personally, I was looking for an outlet to be able to express myself and do something different, you know, kind of have something lift me up. And around January, I discovered BLs, started watching them with my mom, and during the summertime when Game Boys came out, I started watching that. I started watching Hello Stranger, and it came a point where Game Boys was affecting me so much personally that I just decided to go ahead and start this channel. And that's where everything started. You know, it was just kind of me searching for a sense of community, a sense of reaching out to people, because that was something that had been taken away pretty much. And so anyway, not to be too mushy, but I just wasn't in a good place, and creating this channel and starting reactions and reaching out to people, creating relationships, friendships online, and having all of, you know, the viewers' comments and everything just really, really helped. And I want to thank all of you guys for really being there, being so supportive. Everybody who watches my channel, who subscribes, who comments, who reaches out on Twitter, on Instagram. Thank you so much, because it really has helped tremendously with my anxiety, with my just depression, with just the spiraling of thoughts that come with everything that's been happening. I do want to thank specific people though, so it's a pretty long list. But people that really made me feel that sense of community online, and that are constantly talking to me online, and, you know, the people that are always there. My online family, obviously, the Sibs, BBJ, y'all know who she is. She's been on my channel. I love her so much, and she has been a source of, I don't know how to describe it, but it's been great having someone to talk to. And even though I get my times where I kind of hide in my shell again, because that's how anxiety works, I guess, for me. But she's always there, and I know that I can reach out to her. Nash, my wife, Lex, Duncan, Bebo, Brian, they're kind of my chosen family online, and I'm so happy to have met you all. And you guys have really made the latter half of this year so worthwhile and so just bearable, honestly. So thank you for always being there. And there's also Kent, Christine, my hostkie, Wahida, Sid, Jason, McCoy Coy, Matt, Pono, Lola, Edge, my sis Mari, who's always there as well. All of you guys have been so supportive, so understanding, and it just gives me that sense of community that I feel like I was searching for online. I do want to give shout outs to a couple people who are very supportive online and who always reach out, who always are commenting on my videos and even spreading my videos around. Stefan, Mike, my Taehyung buddy, Firefox. You guys are incredible. Thank you for being so supportive. But yeah, I just wanted to mention these specific people because I feel like they've been the ones to reach out and the ones to talk to me and to kind of understand me, you know. So thank you so much. And not to be too sappy, but these past couple of months, I guess the holiday season, we could say, I have been retrieving a little bit more from being online. Some of you guys might have noticed I'm not as active online. I've tried to keep up with videos, but my anxiety and my depression kind of got me again. And I've been just really struggling to get myself out of that. And, you know, you guys might have noticed I haven't really been in a lot of reactors meets, or just been interacting that much online in terms of the reactor world. And that's just mostly because of working, a lot of pressure. My mom, you know, lost her job recently. And so as we enter the new year, it's been a lot of stress and a lot of uncertainty again. So I just hope that this new year is different and that we can look forward to a new chapter in life. So thank you guys for making this bearable. Thank you for always being there. And hopefully this new year brings great and better things for all of us. And it can be a new beginning and things can go back to being semi-normal. And I can hopefully meet a lot of you people who I've met online. I would love to meet you all and just give you a big bear hug, because I think we all need it at this point. But yeah, with all of that mushiness out of the way, I was trying not to get too mushy, but this year has been really rough, and I just felt the need to convey my appreciation for the people who have been there and who at times really have gotten me out of a bad state of mind. So thank you. Okay, now with all that mushiness out of the way, we can start with my list of my top favorite shows of the year, BL shows of the year. Now this list is mostly shows that started and ended in 2020. This is just my personal list. Obviously there are other shows that I really enjoyed, like Until We Meet Again, that ended I think at the beginning of the year. But I'm gonna mention just specific shows that started and ended in 2020. And I do have a pretty long list of honorable mentions, but these are shows that I didn't quite make it to my top 5, but I did really enjoy watching them and reacting to them, some of them. So the first one is In Between. This series was actually one of the first series that I started watching on my channel, reacting to on my channel. And it was a great show to kind of jumpstart my channel. I was able to interact with the cast a lot. I obviously met, you know, a bunch of reactors because of this show, and this is kind of what started our online bond on Twitter with some of us. So it's a great one. The story is great. You know, we're getting season 2 soon, so stay on the lookout for that. My other one is Life, Love on the Line. This series was kind of also one of the first ones that I reacted to on this channel. It is a Vicky show, and initially, I didn't know that I could be copyrighted by Vicky. A lot of people were saying that I could, but I had reacted to it anyway, and it was fine. And it was one of those shows that I really loved. The story is just incredible. It's short, it's 4 episodes, but it gave me a complete story. I felt emotionally attached to the characters almost immediately, and it was just a sweet story. It felt really complete. So if you guys haven't watched it, I would totally recommend you guys watch it and then come watch my reactions. The next one would be Why Are You? This series, obviously it's a Thai series. It's just one of the more I guess generic, more regular BLs that I've watched, but I did really enjoy it, even though at times it was incomplete. Some fans kind of did not like that because obviously they had a lot of issues with filming after, you know, the coronavirus shutdowns and stuff like that. But I really enjoyed the chemistry of the characters, and even the side characters were all just great. It was a fun series. It was emotional. It was very enjoyable, so I really enjoyed that one. If you haven't watched it, I will totally recommend it. Then we have Hello Stranger, which is another one of those that I kind of jump-started my channel with. It was actually the very first reaction that I did on this channel. It's obviously so cute. The story is so sweet, and I really enjoy the actors. We also have the movie coming out soon, so I totally would recommend you guys check that out as well if you haven't seen it. I'm pretty sure everybody has seen it. It's a really popular show, but if you haven't, I really recommend it. Another honorable mention is My Engineer. This is another more generic, I guess, Thai BL. This one I really did enjoy. Initially, I was very frustrated. It was very, as I said, generic, but about halfway through, it really shifted, and I feel like the story got really well balanced. It showcases 3 or 4 kind of couples, but it does a really great job of kind of giving everybody equal time. We have a season 2 coming, and all the characters are really great. So if you give it a chance, you probably will be frustrated in the beginning, but give it a chance. Watch it till the end because it gets really sweet and really nice, and I really enjoyed it. Then we have Boys Lockdown. This was also a great series this year. It just ended literally a few weeks ago, probably a month ago. But it's one of those series that it's so quirky, so fun, and sweet. And obviously this is one where a lot of reactors, we met the cast. The cast is so sweet, so incredible, so caring of the reactor community, the fans, the watchers, the viewers. And the story itself is really sweet. No spoilers, obviously, but the men in that series are just gorgeous. So if you guys want to watch the men, even the women in that show are gorgeous. Okay, y'all know that Titan is my wife, and obviously we have, you know, Crystal. Just watch it. I think you'll enjoy it. Then we have My Extraordinary. This series obviously just hit us like a bus. A lot of plot twists, a lot of things that happened, and it was just a roller coaster of emotions, y'all. If you've seen it and you've seen my reactions, y'all know it was a roller coaster of emotions. But it was a great series. The actors as well in this one are incredible, so caring, as well as Sir Vincent, who is one of the creators, the writers, and the composer of the series. He's incredible. Y'all should go check it out if you haven't seen it. And we also have season 2 coming out soon, so stay on the lookout for that. And last but not least, to round out my honorable mentions, is Mr. Heart. This is a Korean BL series that kind of preceded Where Your Eyes Linger, if you guys have seen that. And this was just very cute, very sweet. I really enjoyed this series. It just gave me butterflies in my stomach. It's just a cute series that made me happy, made me love the characters very quickly, and I got invested in the characters from the get-go. And if you haven't seen this one, it's really cute. It's short. The episodes are short, so you should literally in a couple of hours or even less than that like watch the entire thing, because it's really, really good. I will also link all of these, where you can find all of these, hopefully in the description below. Hopefully I can find where you can watch all of them. If not, simple Google search or something can probably get you to them. We have finally come to my top 5 BL series of the year. There's, I guess, really no specific criteria to how I decided to rank my top 5, other than me just being completely fascinated, obsessed, in love with the stories, the characters, the actors. Just these 5 are truly just magnificent series that came out this year that completely just blew me away, took me by surprise, and that I will rewatch and rewatch and rewatch as much as I can because I love it that much. So my number 5 is Where Your Eyes Linger. This series was so unexpected because I remember when it came out, it was like, oh, it's like the first Korean BL, or one of the first Korean BLs like properly done, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to watch this immediately. I was so sad that the episodes were really short, obviously, but the story was just so perfect, and the characters and the writing, the music, just everything was just so great, and it just gives me these like butterflies in my stomach, and I just really enjoyed it. And that's why it's my number 5, because it's a series that I can just rewatch like all the time. I can just rewatch and rewatch and rewatch, and these are like comfort characters for me, so I really, really loved it. My number 4 might come as a surprise to some of you, because you probably thought it would be higher up, but this year was a great year for BL, okay? So bear with me. But my number 4 is Game Boys. Where to even start with Game Boys? Listen, talking about comfort characters, these are comfort characters, okay? These are characters that I just like fully love with my entire heart. These are characters who I can just watch over and over again and feel fulfilled, feel happy. This started off as it was weird because there was a lot of buzz and talk about it online, and so I saw a few people reacting to it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this sounds and looks interesting. I hadn't seen it like BLs from any other country or from the Philippines at all. So I was like, let's give it a try. Let's, watch it and see what happens. And the first episode, the first 10 minutes, obviously it was a 10-minute episode, it completely grabbed a hold of me, and I was hooked from the very beginning. I know a lot of people found it cringy, in the beginning, but that's kind of what I liked in the beginning. A lot of people were kind of put off by Gav and just his forwardness, his gay forwardness, but I immediately loved it and was obsessed. And so I started watching it from there, and it was around, obviously, when episode 7 came out, the big, climatic episode. I'm not gonna say what happened in that episode if you haven't seen it, but it's one of those that really just hit me hard. And I was like, I'm gonna start a channel because I have a lot of thoughts, I have a lot of feelings, I have things that I want to express. And so that's really what made me start this channel. It was that specific episode of Game Boys, and then it just became a moment in time for the BL community and for BLs in the Philippines. So that's why it's my number 4. It's just perfect. I love the actors, the writing, it's really great. Y'all know Kokoi is just my husband for life. I love him so much. My number 3 is Gaya sa Pelikula. How to explain this series? This series is one of those that everything has meaning. The writing, the music, just everything means something. And it's one of those things that just really makes me really happy to know that there are writers, creators, actors who are so good that they can put on a show like this. You know what I mean? They are so in tune with the community. They're so in tune with proper LGBT representation. And it feels great to watch a series that really tackles so many things that I guess a lot of people take for granted, like coming out and things like that. And I just really enjoyed it. The actors are incredible. The chemistry. Ooh, chemistry, y'all. Oh my god, the chemistry is everything. Like, these two are something else. Vlad and Carl are just so perfect for each other, and it's a great series. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. All right, my number 2 series, I literally finished watching it a couple of days ago, and I had it in my top 5 already, but it was like number 5. But after I finished watching it, it shot up to number 2 because this is one of those that I really fully related to the series, the writing, the characters, and that show is Cherry Magic. Cherry Magic. How to explain this series? I actually started watching this series with my online fam, Bebo, Duncan, Nash, Lex, Jay, Brian, all of us we started watching it together. And it was one of those kind of comfort series for us. We immediately fell in love with the characters. And after a while, we kind of all got busy in our respective, whatever we were doing. So I kind of lost track of the show for a little bit. And I recently, a couple of days ago, literally binge watched the entire thing with my mom. When I tell you that this series just blew me away, like, it perfectly encompasses anxiety and the feelings that I'm always feeling personally, and how difficult it is to manage friendships, relationships, when you are an overthinker, when you are someone who doesn't know what other people are thinking, but you're always in your head about the way that you are, the way that people perceive you, the way that you put yourself down too much. That's just something that I can relate to, like, entirely. And this series does a great job of showcasing that in its characters. And the main couple here, which are Kurosawa and Adachi, they are just chef's kiss. Like, they are perfect. They are a perfect couple. Like, these two have great chemistry. These two were just so cute to watch, and their story is just, I aspire to have a love story like this. Okay, like, obviously there's a fantastical aspect to the series that kind of heightens and pushes the narrative of anxiety and the things people might use or do to cope, but that just adds another layer of why this series is just so perfect, because it really showcases anxiety in just the perfect way. Like, it really did a great job at showcasing this. So the side characters are great in this one as well, and there's a side couple that is really sweet, and they get a full story as well. So if you haven't seen Cherry Magic, you are missing out. You need to watch this series because it's really good. And lastly, the series of the year for me, the one that really just floored me, this series really it just took everything from me. Like, it kicked me in the face and said bow down, and I bow down to it because it's just such a great series. And that is I Told Sunset About You. Is one of those series that I was hearing a lot of hype about it from the very beginning, from even before it started airing. And you know, a lot of people were saying like, you have to pay a lot of money for this series. It's a series that is extremely well done, and it is 100% worth the money. If you guys, you know, want to watch it, I totally recommend it because this series is just perfect. The writing, the cinematography, the camera movements, the shots, the music. Oh, the music, y'all. If y'all haven't, the OST for I Told Sunset About You. Woo! The chemistry between the actors, the side characters, everything is just perfect. This series doesn't have a concrete villain at all. This series, all the side characters are absolutely amazing, are three-dimensional. You really get to see and experience what these characters are feeling. The chemistry between the main actors, obviously Oeo and Tae, the characters themselves, they have such a way of conveying their emotions, their feelings, by looking at each other, by touching each other, just every little detail of this series is absolutely breathtaking. It really will blow your mind when you see this series if you haven't seen it. It is truly iconic. I feel like it's one of those that is also, I can just rewatch it over and over again. Like, it's so good. This is a series that I also watched with my online fam. And like I said, it really just was perfect. It's a series that has everything. It is a Thai BL, and this is what BLs should be. BLs should tell stories like this, stories that have a really deep meaning and that convey its meaning in such a way that it floors you and takes your breath away, because that's what it did to us and to me specifically. We have part 2 coming in March, I believe, so I'm extremely excited for that. So yeah, so there you have it, guys. That is my list of favorite BL series of the year, my honorable mentions, as well as my top 5. I would love to know what you guys think. I would love to know you guys' top 5, even throw in some honorable mentions on there as well. Obviously, there are series that I didn't get to catch or watch this year, so I'm looking forward to catching up and watching things that I haven't seen, and you know, also excited for all of the series that are coming out in 2021. We have a lot of great ones that have been already, you know, talked about and that I will be watching on my channel, so stay on the lookout for that. But yeah, this year has just been an incredible year for series, an incredible year for me personally, both, you know, in a sad way and in a happy way, because, you know, things have just been a little bit out of control this year, but I'm so grateful to have this platform that I can just be me and interact with you guys and have this sense of community. So yeah, I look forward to what the new year holds. Happy New Year. I hope that you guys have a wonderful time celebrating with your family, and also hope that you all have an incredible new year ahead, and that all your wishes come true, that there's nothing but positivity and good things, good vibes, good everything in the new year. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you guys in the next one.